Here we are, guys. Welcome in another episode. Actually, a new season here, guys. This is season 2 of my breakdowns on all the hockey games on the slate here. We got 12 going on the NHL, and we got 14 going on the AHL, guys. Starting up at 1 o'clock here, so I want to get right into it. Pick City. This is one of the T-shirts we gave away last month, monthly subscribers. I got right now, guys, refer a friend. So if any of your friends there sign up for a package, we'll send you a 40% off promo code for yourself, so you can get a great deal on any package there, guys. $10, $40 or $60 and $120 for the month. So great opportunities. I've been doing really good in hockey, guys. In December, we were up, I believe, 11 units, all documented, all on my page at Ego47 on Twitter. So you can check that all out, guys. I want to get right into these picks. That's pretty much what I got going on. This is season 2, first episode, and I'll be giving you guys a lot of free picks, and I also have client plays. I got 4 client plays I already sent out in NHL and 3 in the American Hockey League. So I'll kind of be staying away from those. I'll mark those as I go through the cards. So let's get right into it. First game on the docket here, guys, Florida Panthers and the Buffalo Sabres. Florida, I missed the line here, guys. This is a free play for you for sure. I missed the line, though. It's minus 119 right now, guys. It was minus 105, even minus 107. I saw it open. So I think they're live here. Uyghur's out for Florida, but they struggle versus tough defensive teams, Florida, and Buffalo is not that tough defensive team, in my opinion, right now. They're also without 2 offensive players that are going to really hurt their chances of winning this game against a Florida team that's scoring a lot of goals right now. They're 2 of 4 in the power play in their last 4. Florida 2 of 4 in the PK. Not the greatest, but like I said, it depends on the teams you're playing, right? It's all about matchups, guys. And I think the matchup with Florida here is a great spot. I just watched the Rochester Buffalo's farm team. They got Dea and Middlestad, 2 really good players, had a really good night. They should probably be called up eventually here. They did add Frolik, actually. That was a big addition they got from Calgary. I just don't think it's going to be not right yet. I think it might spark him a bit, but not enough against a Florida team here, guys. Bobrovsky should be in net. Allmark's only 2 of 6, and this is his 7th start in a row, so he's only 2 of 6 of those games, guys. He's at home, but I think Florida, the line's a little low, especially when it was minus 105, still around minus 119 Heritage. Let's roll with that one, guys. Florida on the money line. On to the next game here, Edmonton-Boston. It's going to be a good game here. Benning and Russell out for Edmonton. Nothing new, really. They blew the last game against Buffalo. We were on the Oilers there. Oilers, scored 2 goals in the first period, and you can't score another goal against the Sabres here. Like, come on. You're playing Boston now. That's going to be even tougher. Boston's pissed off. They can't string wings together. They win a game, lose a game. They should have beat Columbus. So that was another one we were on. I don't know what happened there. Columbus is a happy team right now in Boston. They're not. They had. Excuse me. As much as we liked them earlier on in the year in the third period, they're not finishing games. They can't close teams out right now. So I don't love Boston, but Edmonton, they don't instill a lot of confidence either. I have the under 6 here, guys. This isn't one of my favorite games, but I'd have to look under 6 minus 107. If Boston wins this game, it's going to be tight. Edmonton can barely score against Buffalo. It's going to be tough here against Boston. Clifton's out, one of their key defensive player, but they got McAvoy and Krug back now. So Boston's probably live. Money line, I imagine, is going to be around minus 180. I didn't exactly look into that one, guys, but under 6, I think, would be the best play, in my opinion, minus 107, Edmonton and Boston. Third 1 p.m. game here, guys. So these games are going off in about 55 minutes, is San Jose and Columbus. It's going to be an early game for San Jose, 10 a.m. their time, right? Going up against the Columbus team, like I said, they're stringing wins together. I don't know how. You ready for this? Here we go. Eight players here, key players out for Columbus. You got Kukan, Terrier, Korpisalo, Bjorkstrad, Murray, Peak, Anderson, and Atkinson. So those are all those guys, especially Atkinson, Anderson. Those are offensive players. You got Bjorkstrad, another offensive player. Kukan there, he was a great defensive player. He's now out. Korpisalo's their starting goalie. I don't know how they're doing it, really. Merzlikins, he's been playing good. I've been watching his games. He is playing good hockey right now. What do I have here? He's not a good morning goalie, though, guys. I found some stats in the morning there, and he didn't have a good morning start in his one start there. I have the under 6. I don't love it here, guys. Minus 115 at Pinnacle. San Jose, they're throwing Dell back in here, guys, in back-to-back starts. They're still looking for a number one goalie I have here, so I don't know if I love the under. I just don't think Columbus is going to be able to score as much. Their PK has been really good, though. That's another reason why I like the under. That's San Jose, 4 or 5 in their last 5. So I'd lean towards San Jose and the under 6 as well there, guys. 2 p.m. game here. We're moving on to Winnipeg Jets and the Minnesota Wild. Hellebuck, he got lit up against the Leafs last time out there, guys. He was pulled. But with that being said, they played on the 21st and they won 6-0. Yeah, he had a great comeback game there, but they lost 4-1 the game before. It's a very similar matchup here where they're going on the road after getting their arses kicked. Winnipeg probably is live. Beliveau is going to be out, though, for sure. Kulikov and Kopp could be returning at some point, so that is a good sign for Winnipeg. Minnesota is a lot healthier, but they're playing more of an under-style game now. They're going back to what they used to do here. They're playing a lot more unders. Coming off a 4-1 loss against Toronto in the 31st of December, so this will be the first game for Minnesota. I think it's going to be it's going to be a tighter game too here, guys. Slower matchup. I'm surprised it's at 6, to be honest. Winnipeg, Minnesota. You're going to start seeing 5.5s probably, guys, in these Minnesota games going forward. So I think I'm going to write that down. Do I have it already? No, but under 6 is going to be another free play in Winnipeg and Minnesota. That's going to be a good matchup there, guys. You know, that's the Battle of Canada and Northern America there. So, yeah, let's roll with the under 6er, guys. We'll win Winnipeg and the Minnesota Wild there. All right, enough of that. St. Louis, Vegas. This is the first client play here. Binghamton, Fleury. Look, I got a client play on the side, so we'll look at the total. Reeves and Marceau they're going to be out for Vegas, which is that's big. Especially Reeves, actually, surprisingly, guys. You need some battle. You need some warriors when you're playing St. Louis. You got to be tough, in my opinion here. Marchessault is going to definitely hurt them offensively. Fleury is still, he's a top 5 goalie, in my opinion. He has been playing a lot. And St. Louis's D is pretty stingy. But what do I have here? They're coming off an awful loss to St. Louis, too, guys, against Avalanche, 7-3. Binghamton there, he didn't look that good. Is he going to bounce back against Vegas? It's a tough call. If you ask me about the total here, I'd have to look under for sure here. It's going to be a tighter matchup here. See if I don't have. Let me just pull the lines up here, guys. SBR odds. Let's take a look at what we have here because I want to see what the under is in St. Louis, Vegas. Like I said, client play on the side. Let's go. So many games on here today, guys. We got dead air. No one in here. Got one viewer there. Appreciate you there, whoever you are. Anyone have any questions there, feel free to chime in. Let's see. We're going to go to totals here. And sorry, guys. I should have had this. So many notes. It's been a busy morning with all 26 games. So we're looking at, it is a 5.5 plus 5.5. If that was 6, guys, I would have definitely been on that. I'm going to stay off that under 5.5. I could see possibly 6, especially after St. Louis. They gave up 7 against Colorado. So nothing on the St. Louis Vegas. I do have a client play, though, on that. So I'll just move right on. Next one here is Tampa Bay, Ottawa. Another client play here on the side here between Tampa, Ottawa. Looking at the total, Ottawa, they have Brandstrom and LaJoie and Belleville. Just watch them play. Good, especially Brandstrom there, guys. He's a hell of a skater, really good skater. Batherson, Belleville's got a good farm team. I shit you not. They did lose that game. Goaltending issues. They got an ECHL goalie in net, Dackard. He just kind of cost that game. So, yeah, Ottawa, they're still scoring. I'd have to look at an over, if anything, here. Tampa Bay, Ottawa, guys. Tampa Bay, they just played Montreal. Didn't generate as much shots, but I imagine they will generate a lot more shots against this depleted Ottawa defense with DeMello, Hainsey, and Zaitsev out of the lineup. So at least usually one period where Ottawa kind of falls apart. But with that being said, they usually have one period where they can really, 2-3 goals fire off. I don't have the goalies written in here, but I imagine it's going to be Vasilevsky. The one game, Vasilevsky versus, it's going to be Anderson. They're not going to Hogberg. if they go Hogberg, Geeks. It looks like Nielsen's going to be out till probably the end of January, from what I've been hearing there from local beat writers here in Belleville. So Hogberg's not coming back, so he's going to be their backup. So Anderson's going to have to take the reins, see if he can do it. I don't think it's going to be easy against Tampa Bay. I look at an over there, Tampa Bay, Ottawa, guys. Looking at the next matchup here, second game of the 7 o'clocks, New York Islanders and the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is going to be a great battle here. I'm not sure about Grice here, guys. This is Grice has not been playing good hockey, but Varlamov would be his third start. They might go Varlamov. I haven't seen a confirmation on that yet, guys, but I imagine Grice is going up against Anderson. Two big defensive players out for the Islanders, Pelech and Mayfield. Ever since Mayfield's been out, you've noticed the Islanders haven't been as consistent as you imagine an Islanders team to be. With that being said, though, they are 4 or 5 on the penalty kill, so they're not allowing teams to score on the power play. Guess what? Toronto's 7-7 in their last 7 games on the power play. So this is going to be a real test for the Islanders. I think Toronto is live. The line was minus 145. I was hoping to see a 120, minus 120, that is. The under, too. I found an under 6.5 at minus 120, guys. That's going to be a free play for you as well. Toronto, New York Islanders, under 6.5. That's too much. Toronto, I know they're coming home from this long road trip. They're going to have a lot more home games coming up here too, guys. The Maple Leafs, really the first time Keefe's going to have a home stand. They've been going all the way on the road for, a lot. So I think Toronto, if they do win, I think it's going to be tight. And if the Islanders win, I think it's going to be tight. So that was almost going to be a client play, but I'm going to give that as a free play for you there, guys. Under 6.5, minus 120 at Bet365. Appreciate you there, pal. Stevie, that's NHL. That's it. Hey, man. Let's try to give them what they need here. Give you guys as much insight as I can on these hockey games. It's what I do. I put on all this research. I got people paying for it, so I gotta make sure I know what I'm doing, right? So, yeah, like I said here, guys, I've been doing pretty good the last couple days. Want to keep that going, don't want to jinx it. But anyways, let's move on to the next matchup here. I like New York Islanders, Toronto under 6.5, Bet365. I jump on that early. I know it's been juiced to the 6, so like minus 120, 25. So now the 6.5s are coming up. I can see that getting hit hard. So I jump on that right now, guys, if you can, under 6.5. Pittsburgh, Montreal. This is going to be the third client play on the side, Pittsburgh, Montreal. So looking at the total, this under is live too, just as much as my side, I think, guys. Gallagher is going to be out now for the foreseeable future. Concussion issue, that's not good. And Armia is also out. Another offensive player that's, it's going to be tough life without these two players. You still got a good core. They got Kovalchuk. That's not going to help. He can't make an outlet pass. He can't catch an outlet pass. It's just not a good situation, I think, for Montreal going forward here. They're finally at home after a long road trip too, guys. Under 6 is definitely live. Murray's confirmed. This is his start, man. Murray, you got to start winning these games. Yari's he's playing way better than you, bro. So Price, they don't have a backup in Montreal that's going to be able to compete with Price. So what else do I have here on it? Pittsburgh plays to their competition here too. So if you want to go high scoring with a team like Colorado, Pittsburgh will do that. If you want to go like Montreal, which is going to be a low scoring game, Pittsburgh can do that as well. So I think this is going to be an under kind of game here, guys. That is the third free play, the under 6, Pittsburgh, Montreal there. On the, what do we got? Last 7 o'clock game here, Colorado, New Jersey Devils. It's going to be a good matchup here. I imagine Francois is going to go. I expect him to go. He's had great road numbers all year. If he goes, I think Colorado is definitely live. The money line, those $1.85, that's pretty high. Blackwood's going to be tested here as good as he's been playing. It's going to be a 6th start. He's a great goalie, but it's going to be tough here. Colorado's coming off that 7-3 win against St. Louis, which is a hell of a defensive team. Colorado's definitely live to win this game. They're a really good road team, too, two guys beating Boston, Toronto, Montreal. I remember they had a road trip at the beginning of the month in December, and they really rolled teams, and that was without Maker there. So Colorado, I'm going to give that should probably be another free play for Colorado in regulation, guys. I think they can win this in reg against the Devils. As much as I've been on the Devils, I was on them against the Islanders. I'm not going to be on them tonight. I think Colorado as a free play for you there, guys, is very live. On to the 8 o'clock matchup here. We got two more games after the Philadelphia-Arizona game. This is going to be a good matchup here. I got a client play on the total, so I can't be too in-depth on that. But looking at the side here, guys, Lindblom's out for Philly, but other than that, they're a healthy team. They started off really slow in this road trip, but this is going to be the last game of their – this is going to be their 6th game of the road trip, which is their last game, thankfully. Started out awful, but like I said, finishing much better. I'd rather have Elliott too. I just know Carter Hart's a much better home goalie. And Elliott, like I said, he got pulled one of his starts earlier in this road trip. But I think this is a good opportunity for him. If they want to win the game, they need to go Elliott. Ranta, he's playing better. They know he's going to have to take the reins because Kemper's out, I believe, for another couple of weeks. So Ranto's not been bad. He's played better recently. They had a great comeback win against Anaheim there. I was on that Arizona team there against Anaheim. It'll not be as easy, though, against Anaheim. You won't be able to come back, I think, against a team like Philly. Philly really wants to win this last game, I think. So this is a tough game, but I like my total play. But looking at the side there, guys, that's tough. I could see this being an OT game. I want to say Flyers as much as I want to take Arizona. I think the Flyers could be live. On to the next matchup here, guys. We're looking at the New York Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks. Rangers, they haven't been too good on this road trip here. It's going to be their 4th game of the road trip. They want this to end. A lot of overs. Just haven't been stopping the puck. Lundqvist, Gorgiev. It should be Gorgiev tonight. He got pulled his last game. Markstrom should be in it as well for Vancouver, guys. He's been playing good hockey. He's only his 2nd start in a row. I imagine he's going to go. It's 6 straight games of scoring 3 goals or more, too, for Vancouver. So they're putting the puck in the net. 7 of 8 on the power play as well. Just like Toronto, these two teams are really scoring. And the Rangers, like I said, they're allowing a lot of goals. So just putting that all together, guys, Vancouver is definitely, I think, live. They're not like Philadelphia here. They're not playing as well as Philadelphia. As much as Philly did lose, they almost beat that Vegas team. They played really well. Fleury won that game for them. So I don't like the direction the Rangers are trending on this road trip. Vancouver's playing really good hockey. They're probably live. The total was 6.5. That's pretty damn high. I'd probably feel better. I would feel better on the regulation. Just going to take a look at that here, see what the money line is on Vancouver. That's the total. Holy shit, there's a lot of games on today. Let's see, money lines. I got one more here, Nashville-LA Kings. I don't got a good feel on that last game, by the way, guys. Just a heads up. But let's see here. We're looking at Vancouver. Where are you? Minus 150. Yeah, I'd look regulation, guys. Probably get even money. Money's coming in on the Rangers, actually, which surprises me a little bit here. That really surprises me. I think Vancouver is definitely live. I'm not getting my hopes up on the Rangers. I could see an over, though, as well, guys. Let's get on to the next one here. 20 minutes. Look at that. Holy, we still got AHL to go. Won't be as in-depth on AHL. There's a couple books that don't even have the lines up. They're slacking hard, disappointed. Anyways, last game here, Nashville-LA Kings. Rene and Quick, I imagine. They should be going. I wouldn't want to see Campbell or Saros, for that matter. LSC is going to be out, as you guys saw. They took a nasty elbow from old man Perry from Peter Patch. Even without Ellis, though, Carrier is coming up from Milwaukee Admirals. One of the better teams in the league, as people know, for the AHL, Milwaukee. He'll be okay, I think, in this matchup. If anything, I do think Nashville is still live here, guys. Though their power play or their penalty kill is 2 of 5 of late, so they're not stopping opponents here. But they're playing the Kings, and the Kings are now without McDermott and Ryan on defense, and Brown and Lewis 2 forwards. So what we have here? The Kings they tend to lose to tougher tough fighting teams, like not like a Detroit or like a I don't know, like the Devils were at the beginning of the year. Teams like St. Louis and Vancouver of late have beat them. Nashville, I imagine they're pissed off, guys. They should have won that game against Dallas, in my opinion. They were up and they let it slip away in the last period in that Winter Classic on New Year's Day. So I do think Nashville is live. Quick check on the money line. Didn't have that one down. Minus 119. It's going down. Over. No, no, I think the opener made sense. Well, minus 140. I'd lean at Nashville even so, guys. Minus 119. Um, Yeah, that's all the NHL for you there, guys. Go over the free plays again for you here. We got Florida coming out for 39 minutes on the money line. It was minus 119. I'd recommend anything under about minus 120, 125. We got the under 6 in Winnipeg, Minnesota. That's at 2 p.m. I like that one there, guys. The Islanders, Toronto, another under 6.5. A lot of unders. Um, I think that's just too high. If you can get that 6.5 jump on it, New York Islanders, Toronto, and the under 6 in Pittsburgh, Montreal. With the injuries to Montreal's forward group here, I think that's going to slow down their pace compared to what they were on the road. So I like that one, along with Colorado in the regulation. I think just the Devils been playing great hockey, but it's going to be a tougher opponent here, especially coming off a 7-3 win from Colorado there, guys. So those are the 5 free plays for you, and I got 4 client plays down below in the links there, guys. You can get those client plays. That's where all my track picks are recorded there. I will let you know how I do in these free plays, but like I said, all my numbers here are based on my client plays I've been giving out for the last couple of years. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Let's move on to the AHL. A little sip of water here. I'll be quick. Hello. I'll be quicker with the AHL here, guys. 365 slacking. So is Bet Online. I believe there's only Bovada, Heritage, and 888 Sport. Usually I have at least 5 books that have the lines out, only 3 today. So we'll get right into it here. First one I do like for you, though, guys, is Milwaukee in regulation over the Cleveland Monsters. Groznik's going to be in. They're a better goalie. They had Ingram last night, their backup, who's still really good. But the big issue is Cleveland. As you guys know, Columbus has called up a lot of these Cleveland players, especially their goalies. Thiessen should probably be going. That's their ECHL goalie here being called up for Cleveland against a top-notch Milwaukee team. Yikes. Milwaukee regulation, guys, I think that's very live. That's going off in about 30 minutes. I already got that playing myself. That's at Heritage. On to the next one here. I do have a client play on the total, but looking at the side in Rochester and Toronto Marlies here, guys, like I said, I watched Rochester last night against Belleville. Great hockey team. I think they're live to win this one again. As much as Toronto, they just lost like 8-2 against Syracuse last night. They got thrashed. Yeah, they got outshot 56-22. You know, both goalies had to play too, Cascasio and Wall. So it's a bad spot for Toronto, in my opinion, coming back home off the little road trip too. Rochester is going to probably, in my opinion, roll here, guys. Get that about minus 110, 120. Rochester Americans over the Toronto Marlies. On to the next matchup here. This is going to be a client play between between the Laval Phantoms and the Belleville Senators, my Belleville Senators. I'm looking at the total there. So we'll jump right into the side. Belleville's very live here, even on regulation, guys, minus 115. Tough loss last night, but they got a lot of key players from the team. Grunstrom and LaJoy, Batherson, Thornton. I might be butchering his name, but they got a really good team, guys. And Laval is as bad as you can get right now. Gustafsson should be playing. I like him to start. I think he should be starting over Dackard, in my opinion. So, and Leon's going to be going for Laval, who's not an awful goalie, but their offense is just so bad. So Belleville regulation, guys, that's going to be another free play for you there. They're live tonight. It's minus 115. On to the next matchup here. We're looking at Utica Hartford, guys. DiPietro and Huska. DiPietro was called up to Vancouver Canucks. He's a great goalie. Huska is going to be the backup to Shesterkin from Hartford. He's a top-notch goalie, guys. You're probably going to see him in the Rangers system there. I've been talking about him for the last couple months. Huska, though, he's a great backup for Hartford. Hard-fought loss for Utica. Ran into a tough goalie last night in Montembeault. From Florida Panthers, he's got called down to Springfield. Monty there. Hartford, they made more of their opportunities against Providence in a 3-1 win. They didn't exactly outshoot them, but Shesterkin was their second star, so that's a big reason. I think Utica, though, is live tonight with a hell of a goalie and just a more revenge factor. Minus 115 and the total 6.5. I think that's too high at Bovada, guys. So I'd be looking Utica, Hartford under, and Utica on the money line. Next matchup here, Bridgeport, Hershey, Coro, and Copley. Copley, as you guys know, he's a hell of a goalie there. He was on Washington's team for a good while. Now they have Samsonov. So Copley, you got to look Hershey here, guys. Coro, Bridgeport, they're the Islanders farm team, but they're not a team that can score goals. Similar to the Islanders, they're more of a defensive team. Bridgeport. What do I got here? They beat up on Wilkes-Barre too last game, Hershey, and that was with Venasek in their backup. So I don't see why not. Here, guys, regulation plus 110. That's a steal. That's another free play for you. Jeez, I really like this AHL card. Like I might have a lot of plays here today. Plus, what do we got? 110 regulation. All about finding the value there, guys. I like getting, no more than 120. Even minus 120 kind of I cringe at. But yeah, all about those plus numbers in my opinion. Next matchup here is Condon versus Kincaid. I'm not a big fan of Condon here. That's Syracuse, the Syracuse Crunch going up against the Laval Rockets, and with Kincaid. Kincaid, I think that should be Montreal's backup, and he's on Laval right now. I think just getting right. Laval won 4-0 against Lehigh Valley last night. Syracuse had that big win, 8-2, like they said, against Toronto, but that's going to be a much different situation, I think, against the Laval team that's much more better, playing better hockey. Didn't give this one out, but I was looking at the over 5.5. It was just minus 125 there, guys. I still would look at the over 5.5. I can, especially with Condon in net, he should let some goals in. The money line on Laval, though, is minus 140. I would look, if anything, though, the over 5.5 and Laval, maybe even Laval regulation there. On to the next one here, guys. This is going to be the third client play. It's in the side between Colorado and Manitoba. You're going to have Miska and Burdin. Surprised Burdin didn't go yesterday. Comrie went for Manitoba Moose. Comrie got called back to Winnipeg. He's been up and down like crazy, but he's back on Winnipeg. But anyway, Burdin's going. He's been a stellar goalie all year. Colorado's got Miska, who's been a really good goalie as well, guys. The under 6.5. Can't give us 6.5. It was just 1-0 yesterday. They're nuts. Why are they giving us 6.5? Holy, do I got enough room for this? All right, under 6.5 between Colorado, Manitoba. That should be 5.5. If you want, I'd take 5.5 at like plus 140, guys. I did that the other night and it was 1-0. So client play on the side though. Can't give that one out. On to the next one here. Charlotte, Providence, Neto Djokovic, and Legacy. Two really good goalies. Got to look at the under here. Really good defensive team. Good penalty kill for Charlotte. Providence, same thing. Not as good at home, but they're a good defensive team. Ran into a tough goalie there the other night. Last night with Shesterkin. So I think the under's live, and I have even Charlotte here at plus 100 though. But I think the under's even is just as good, guys. 5.5 minus 115 between Charlotte, Providence. And like I said, all these lines are Bovada, 888 Sport, or Heritage right now. Look out for Bet Online and Bet 365. Probably within the next couple hours, but they're not going to have the Milwaukee game up, that's for sure. Or they might by now, who knows? Anyway, let's get on the news. We're almost about halfway through here, guys. Just a couple more in the AHL, and we'll close this shop up here after 26 games, and I'll go over all the free plays and let you know where you can find my client plays. Anyways, Springfield, Wilkes-Barre here, guys. The next matchup. Springfield had a hell of a game last night. Hard-fought win. Good all three periods against Utica. Won 3-2. Wilkes-Barre got outplayed. They got really outplayed against Hershey, who has a great defense, but both goalies played for Wilkes-Barre, which you do not like, D. Smith and Tokarski. So you got it. Desrosiers is going to be Desrosiers. I like to pronounce that a little French style, baby. He's going to be in net for Springfield. I think Springfield's very live again to win this. Minus plus 107 on the money line, guys. That's possibly going to be another free play. When I say free play, it's because I'm going to probably have a bet on it. Maybe not as huge bet, not compared to my client plays where I have full units on, but I'll possibly have a play on this Springfield money line plus 107. Yeah, Springfield's definitely live here. Wilkes-Barre's they're not a consistent team, especially defensively. I don't like them defensively. Iowa, Chicago here, guys. Next matchup. Sparks is going to go for Chicago. He's lost the range. He's the backup goalie to Oscar Donsk right now, who's played really good hockey. Donsk has been, I think he was like 7-2 in December. The team is playing really good hockey behind him. Sparks is going to be in net. He's got good numbers, but he has been winning games. That's his issue. Robson's going for Iowa, back up to Kakkonen, but he had the reins. He knows what to do here. I have the under 5.5. They crushed Rockford too. I have here, guys, Iowa last night, 35 shots or more on the on Rockford. 3-6 on the power play as well. So their power play was just firing too, Iowa. It's going to be, I think, much tougher here against Chicago. I don't like Rockford nearly as much. The Chicago Blackhawks farm team. Iowa and the Chicago Wolves. Sorry, there's so many Chicagos here, guys. I could be confusing you, but the team I'm talking about, the game we're looking at right now here, starting at 7 o'clock, still a 7 o'clock game. 8 o'clock. We're on the 8 o'clocks now. Iowa Wild and the Chicago Wolves. I have the under 5.5, but minus 120, I think I have. Double check that line, guys. Anything under minus 120, I would take the under 5.5 in Iowa, Chicago tonight. Grand Rapids, Texas. We got 4 more games here. Grand Rapids, Texas, Poulin and Oettinger. Poulin, if he's going for Grand Rapids, which I think he will, they might throw Picard, but he got heavy. He got tested for 40 shots plus last night, so they should be throwing Poulin, which is an ECHL goalie. Texas has their back and forth between Bo and Oettinger, so Oettinger's going today. I might be butchering his name, probably sounds funny. I think it's Oettinger. Anyway, Texas on the money line here, guys. Heritage $1.20. I think that's very live. I'm going to circle that. I think I have no more room on the paper. They're getting production from all the lines here ahead for Grand Rapids, but they're still giving up 30-plus shots. You can't do that against Poulin. Poulin, don't know as much about him, but I just know historically our ECHL goalies are not going to produce. They just don't. Providence had a guy there I did some research on, but I haven't heard anything about this guy from Grand Rapids. So let's roll with the Texas on the money line, guys. I think they're very live over Grand Rapids, minus 120. Next matchup here, 8 o'clock still, Ontario, Stockton. Poor Pedersen here. He's had a rough December, that's for sure. I think Villalta, he should be going here. Didn't get as many starts as he should have in the beginning of the season, and now he is. Not a bad goalie here. They have good players, Ontario, I have, but they're just not playing well, not playing together. They do have, like I said, the backup in I have down. Going up against the Stockton team, guys, throwing in Zaggy Doolin. He's got one of the better names in the AHL, Zaggy Doolin. Stockton, good. What do I have here? Good at home. They're just a good overall team here, guys. They put the puck in the net. They have great power play, good penalty kill. They're at home. They're a top team along with Tucson and Milwaukee here, guys. It's tough not to just take Stockton here. I like the over 6.5 a little bit more. I do think Ontario can get a couple goals on Zaggy. But you got to look Stockton, if anything, there, guys, on the money line. Next matchup here, second last one. Tucson, San Jose, Tucson. Viral, yo, buddy. Next level, that's some thought on the Vegas over. The Vegas over. Yeah, Viral, I'm just firing, brother. So much stuff. I promise everyone I give them the goods. So I'm just giving them that goods. Anyway, let's get on to the one you just requested there, buddy. Where are we here? St. Louis, Vegas on the over 5.5. 5.5. That's a little low. I think it's gonna be really tough for Vegas to score here, buddy. I'd be surprised if they net 3 goals or more. I do have a client play on the side. They got really outplayed St. Louis in their last game, and that was against a Colorado team that they're very offensively talented. Vegas is too, but they're going to be without Marchand-Salt, who's a hell of a player. He can score on any given night, so there's a key offensive player out. I also have Fleury's been getting peppered a little bit. I think it's just going to be tough for and over his Zang Faro. I think it's just going to be tough, buddy, for Vegas to score here. I wouldn't look at the over 5.5. No, to be honest, I would not. It's going to be a sleeper game too. 1 p.m. for Vegas, 4 o'clock my time here on the East Coast. So, if anything, I would look to the under there, buddy. Back to the HL here, guys. Just a couple more plays. San Jose and Tucson. These are some ECHL goalies if I've ever heard of them. I can't even pronounce. Sawchenko versus Halverson. If Prosvedov goes, he's going to be tired. He might go. Tucson's just a much better team here, guys. San Jose, their captain actually had a battle with cancer. He had some type of thing that had to take him out of hockey. So he's now behind the bench, actually. He's an assistant coach. So the team, they're not playing. They're still not playing good hockey. Their stats the other night, they didn't have one guy in the plus. They're all almost in the minus. You could see a bounce back game. Yeah. You know what? If anything, this would be a chance for sorry, guys. Get a little water here. Oh, there it is. San Jose could be live here, as bad as they are. Like I said, though, the guy, their captain's now their assistant coach. Their talent isn't as keen. Tucson's good. This is a tough one there, guys. I have the over 6.5. That might just be the safer bet because you have 2 ECAHL goalies. So that's what I'd be looking at there. I'll move on to the last game here. Bakersfield, San Diego. Wells is the backup for Bakersfield, guys. San Diego is going to have Stolars. You've heard of him from for Anaheim there. So the goals here, I think they're very live. They don't have one of their top offensive players here in Sprong. With that being said, though, they battled against Bakersfield last night. This is going to be a rematch. The last 3 games I've talked about are all rematches. That's why I don't have the greatest feel because I kind of like all the teams that won last night to win again, but that's tough to do. San Diego did lose, though, and I think they can win this game tonight here, guys, on the money line, minus 120. Not my favorite, but I do lean that way. Not as low as yeah, exactly. Yeah, not as low as one would think. Not my. I'll go over my favorite free plays there, Viral. I like coming out here in about 23 minutes. I think Florida's very live, buddy. I think they're live. Buffalo's not a team I like right now. Olofsson's out now. Skinner's been out. They'll have a couple. They got Frolik. It's going to help, but I don't think it's going to do enough quite yet. They're only 1 of 4 on the power play, 2 in their last 4. Buffalo. Florida's just a better team, in my opinion, with the better goalie. What's his name here? Huberdeau has been a really good offensive player too, actually, in the last, if you check the last 6 or 7 months, going back to last year, he's been a top offensive player. So, I appreciate that there, brother. Yeah, the client plays have been very, very, very hot, but yeah, I think this one was almost a client play here, guys. Florida money line. I think they're very live. On the next free play though, here was try to go in order. Winnipeg, Minnesota. That's going off at 2:00. I think the under 6. I don't see why not. Hellebuck, Dubnik. On to the next one here. New York Islanders, Toronto, under 6.5. You can get that 6.5. I'd recommend that. Defensive issues for New York Islanders. They can't run this game up, and if so, Toronto's probably going to win that, in my opinion. Pittsburgh, Montreal, under 6. I really like that one too as well, guys. I just think it's going to be, like I was saying, Pittsburgh plays to their competition, and Montreal is going to be playing a tighter game. They don't have the offense. They don't have that grit in the boards like they had with Gallagher and Armia. So I like the under 6 there, guys. Client play, I even like better there on the side. So Colorado, New Jersey Devils. No, that wasn't one. What am I saying? Yes, it was Colorado in regulation. I think they are very live here, coming off that nice 7-3 win there, Viral and everyone. So I think the Colorado regulation is very live as well. Those are all the NHL free plays. I'll have them all on Twitter there too, guys. Ego47. That's where you can see. That's pretty much where I have all. It's like my work office there, guys. You can see all my my links to my picks, my links to my my records. Promotions I have going on, where you can see my live shows. I'm hoping to get on too with some of the SBR guys down the road, so that'll be fun there too. Big Boss on with Big Boss and everyone. So yeah, it's good fun there, guys. Panthers, I'll take your everything. Yeah, I'm gonna have a stab in it, brother. Especially full game, not as much really. I like doing first periods sometimes, but I'm gonna do a full game on Florida there, man. Even team total over 2.5. 3.5, I can get plus 110, 2.5, minus 130. There you go. That's all the free plays. That's all the action for you there, guys. All 26 games capped, NHL, AHL. I'll have everything broke. I'll have all the free plays and where you can find all my stuff on Twitter. Like I said, Ego47. And we'll catch you on the next episode, episode 2, season 2. We'll be back. We'll be back Tuesday. It'll just be NHL. Anyways, guys, before I go here, Val, nice to have you tuning in with NCAA. Oh, I appreciate this. I'm going to write down this NCAA right now. Look at that, give and take. Hey, give a little, take a little. That's awesome. I appreciate it, my man. NAU, okay, Northern Arizona. We got -2, and Florida International, -3.5. Thanks a lot, Val. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time on Tuesday for episode 2. Cheers.